Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Book Nice coming at you with the SH Figuarts Star Wars A New Hope Han Solo figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
This is pretty standard packaging for the SH Figuarts Star Wars releases. Picture of Han Solo there on the right flap, Star Wars up at the top, SH Figuarts logo, Disney logo, Tamashii Nations Bandai logo, and a look at Han Solo through the window of the packaging there. Alright, let's get this guy open. Taking a look at Han Solo out of the package, and at this particular point, we all know that when it comes to these SH Figuarts releases, it's all about the face and whether or not they nailed the likeness to the character. And it's not the worst that they've done. It falls somewhere in between for me. It's okay. Definitely not knocking my socks off here. It's okay. SH Figuarts normally doesn't have any issues with paint applications and articulation. For the most part, they are in the upper tier when it comes to that as far as any of the lines that are putting out figures right now. It's just that as of late with this face scanning technology, they have been hit or miss. For the most part, I think the sculpt and everything here is good, and although I've had some issues with these gold highlights that they continue to put in the hair of the figures, this one is actually not too bad. Again, it's really just all about the face, and we'll get into that, but let's look at some of his accessories first and foremost. So straight out the package, he comes with a set of fisted hands, and these look good. Skin tone matches the face, no issues here. And then he comes with the lone right trigger finger hand. So we might as well get into the gun, get into his blaster while we're looking at this hand. And there's his holster with a gun fixed into the holster here. And you can see that detaches there. This is a little unique way that they have his holster on here. It doesn't attach from the belt here. Again, it's just tabs in here on the side of his thigh. And again, this is fixed there. But then you also have a gun that is not fixed to the holster and an empty holster, which I'll show in 1 second. And he can hold that with no problem, and that looks pretty good. You know, not the greatest detail on the blaster, but it is pretty accurate to the movie, I suppose. Brown handle, everything else is black. You can see one little silver piece there towards the front of the trigger groove, and you can see his finger in the trigger groove. And for accuracy, like I said, you can take that off, and he has another holster that can be tabbed in here for when he has the blaster in his hand. And so that looks accurate. An empty holster there, and that works with no problem. That looks very good. And then he comes with a set of open hands, and these look good as well. And then he's got a set of open hands that are gloved, and these look very good. I do like the paint scheme on these, and they look accurate to the movie. But what I don't like is they did not include a right hand that is gloved with a trigger finger. I think they should have included that, and that would have been cool. But this is pretty much it for his accessories. No interchangeable head, no other hands. And while we're talking about head sculpts, let's take a closer look at this one and see what you guys think. The likeness to Harrison Ford is not as great as I would have liked, and it's not as good as it looked in maybe some of the promo images, but it's not the worst. Like I said, it falls somewhere in between. I think he looks okay. I think you could still get away with it with some close-up shots, and it will still look pretty good. And again, the hair with that gold, with those gold highlights, it doesn't look as bad on this particular figure. I don't think they overdid it like they've done with some of the other figures in the past. And you know, the likeness is not the greatest, but it's not the worst, man. I can deal with this. I'm just okay with it. Like just taking a quick look at the deco. This is his signature outfit. I do like that they made this vest a separate piece, so you could actually take this off. I guess I'll get it off in a second. But everything looks pretty accurate. All of the paint work and everything here looks pretty good. I really like the way the the gun holster looks here, it really looks like leather. You can see some kind of stress marks or some creases in it, as leather would look. And his little utility belt here is pretty nicely detailed. All of the buckles and straps and everything is there. The boots, pretty plain, but that's pretty much how they looked in the film. So I think the paintwork and everything here is definitely up to par. And there he is without his little vest, and that looks a little awkward. The sculpt looks a little funny without the vest. He looks a little feminine, actually. But you can see some of his little taco meat there on his chest. I think they did a pretty good job of doing the hair on the chest. Definitely looks like a Caucasian man's chest hair. And yeah, but I'm not really feeling the way the arms and the shoulders and everything look here without the vest. It definitely looks pretty weird. Articulation. Head is on a ball joint. I actually tried to pop off the head. It wasn't coming off easy, so I wasn't trying to force it. I did want to take off the head to see if I could get it on a Stormtrooper body, actually, but I'll have to save that for another time, I suppose. But the head can move independently of the neck, while the neck does have articulation as well. So the head can look down pretty far. Still not the greatest range as far as looking up, unfortunately. Shoulders on a ball joint and on a slight butterfly joint, as you saw when the vest was off. So it'll do a full 360. Excuse me, no upper bicep rotation, but the way it rotates on the joint still functions in the same fashion. A little bit more than 90 degrees on the elbow. You get a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. This upper torso articulation is pretty decent, and you'll also get articulation at the lower abdomen, and it will turn left and right at the lower abdomen and at the upper torso. Not the greatest range moving left and right. And at the pelvis, the legs will come up just about that far. They'll go back pretty far as well too. Splits, pretty decent. There is a ball joint on both sides of the pelvis there, so you do get rotation, which will act as an upper thigh swivel. You do get a double jointed knee. Unfortunately, no rotation at the boot. You do get a hinge on the foot. It'll go back more than it will go forward. You get a toe joint, and you do get a slight ankle pivot. So it's the same thing on both sides as far as the arms and the legs go. You do get a little rotation at the bend at the elbow as well. And a quick size comparison. You have the Rogue One Stormtrooper on the left and a New Hope Luke Skywalker on the right. And I do like that Han Solo is taller than Luke, as he should be, and the Stormtrooper is a little bigger than Han, as it should be if it's a guy inside of a suit there, or inside of a set of armor. So that's pretty good. I do like the size. Unfortunately, it's looking like Chewbacca might be a little on the small side. We'll see what happens with that. And honestly, I'm looking at the face more, and it's growing on me. It looks better by the moment. And there's the Marvel Legends Captain America and the Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper. So you know what? It's not a terrible figure. Like I've been saying from the beginning, it's okay. It's definitely grown on me in the time span of this review. I'm really gonna judge this figure on how much I like it with how much I like Chewbacca, I guess. I mean, you can't have one without the other. I need his partner in crime to really see what's going on. I really hope that those early images of Chewie just look a little wonky, and he is gonna be very tall. But Han Solo is not a bad figure. It's actually pretty decent. Gonna run you about 50, maybe $60 if you could get it directly from Japan. Definitely gonna shoot up in price domestically on the secondary market. So if you can still get this directly from Japan, I would go ahead and do that. I had to skip the line a little bit as far as reviews that I wanted to put out. The last review of the last figure from the Titus Build-A-Figure wave, which is Angela, should be up next. And if you haven't checked out my interview with Zach Oat of Diamond Select, that went up today, and I think Mezco's interview should be up next. Quite a few videos, a lot of content still to put out on the channel over the next week, and then look for the reviews from the X-Men figures from the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave. Alright, I'm out of here. Until next time. Peace.